said, this is going to be kind of a repetition that Jerry has already told you. But just to be different, I'm taking a different approach. So I'm looking to the service concept from the end user point of view. And basically this is where you start. So you have an idea, you want to implement a testbed with some resources, and you're going to facing with a core functionality, which is the Testbed as a Service Resource Manager. So this is the core, the heart of the entire system. So this is an intelligent resource allocation layer or allocation manager, which will do all the magic for you to implement the Testbed. This resource manager basically have access to a virtual resource pool. In this resource pool, various predefined, pre-configured resource types are sitting, like storage resources, transport resources, computing resources, routing and switching resources. And basically the resource manager has an overview on all these virtual resources, and what the resource manager does, basically it goes out and picks all the resources according to your needs, according to your description. So it's very important that your description should be accurate enough, should cover all the aspects that you want to experiment with within your experiment, because the resource manager will only have this information to select the appropriate resources from the virtual resource pool. You will also have a testbed control agent. This is the second main functionality that you will be facing with. So this is the control agent where you can log into and where you can upload your DSL file. You can give all the comments that you want to do with your testbed. Okay, and of course that you won't be able to see as the underlying infrastructure. So that's the part where Jerry has started. I deliberately took the different approach, but basically down there at the infrastructure layer we have the POPs, we have the physical boxes, and there is a virtualization layer process. Actually it depends on the actual type of resources, how the virtualization is being done, but in general there is a virtualization layer process which basically creates eventually the virtual resources and adds those resources to the virtual resource pool. At the moment, what we're gonna see is a static resource pool. Okay, so all these virtual resources are there, predefined statically in the virtual resource pool. But of course, in longer term, this mapping between the virtual resources and the actual physical layer, physical infrastructure, will be dynamic. So we're gonna use OpenNSI and other protocols to set up virtual circuits on demand and stuff like that. It's all controlled by the resource manager, which is up there in the stack. So this is the main concept from a user point of view, and you should be also aware of that there are other users using the same service layer and the same infrastructure under, but those testbeds are completely isolated from each other. So in case of all types of resources, transport resources, computing resources, routing, switching resources, all these things are completely isolated from the user point of view. But you should bear in mind that you are actually using a shared infrastructure, a shared service. Okay, so this is the overall concept behind. So what you should focus on is to be able to access the testbed control agent. This is your agent, and the fact that you have this resource manager, which is an intelligent resource mapper, which basically selects all the resources that you need in a dynamic fashion.